Power corrupts, but secrets destroy. The Maxwell family saga begins with Robert Maxwell, born Jan Ludwig Hoch in 1923 Czechoslovakia. A Jewish refugee who escaped Nazi persecution, he reinvented himself in Britain, earning military honors before building a publishing empire that spanned continents. By the 1980s, Maxwell owned the Mirror Group, Macmillan Publishers, and the New York Daily News. His wealth seemed limitless. His mansion, helicopter, and luxury yacht, named Lady Ghislaine after his favorite daughter, projected an image of unstoppable success. But beneath this carefully crafted facade lay a web of financial deception. Maxwell juggled debts between companies, raided pension funds, and manipulated share prices. He ruled his empire through fear, monitoring employees and demanding absolute loyalty. Then came November 5, 1991. Maxwell's body was found floating in the Atlantic Ocean near the Canary Islands after apparently falling from his yacht. The circumstances remain mysterious. Accident, suicide, or something more sinister? We may never know. Within weeks of his death, the truth emerged. Maxwell had stolen over $400 million from employee pension funds to prop up his failing businesses. Thousands lost their retirement savings. His empire collapsed overnight, revealing one of Britain's greatest financial frauds. Enter Ghislaine Maxwell, Oxford-educated, multilingual, and her father's clear favorite. After his death and disgrace, she fled to New York, determined to rebuild her social standing. There, she met Jeffrey Epstein, a wealthy financier with mysterious sources of income. Their relationship evolved from romantic to something far more disturbing. Ghislaine became Epstein's right hand, managing his properties, staff, and social calendar. But according to prosecutors, she also managed something else: a systematic operation to recruit and groom underage girls for sexual abuse. Victims testified that Ghislaine approached them with promises of work or education, then normalized inappropriate behavior, taught massage techniques, and eventually facilitated abuse by Epstein and allegedly others. Some claimed she participated directly. Meanwhile, the pair cultivated an extraordinary social network. Prince Andrew, Bill Clinton, Donald Trump, and countless business leaders attended their events. Their properties, a Manhattan mansion, Palm Beach estate, New Mexico ranch, and private Caribbean island, hosted the global elite. When Epstein was first charged with soliciting minors in 2008, he received a controversial plea deal. Ghislaine remained untouched. After his release, they continued their high society existence, seemingly untouchable. Everything changed in 2019 when Epstein was arrested on federal sex trafficking charges. His subsequent death in prison, ruled suicide despite suspicious circumstances, shifted attention to Ghislaine. She disappeared from public view, hiding in a remote New Hampshire property until FBI agents arrested her in July 2020. Her trial revealed the extent of the operation. Prosecutors portrayed her as the sophisticated enabler who normalized abuse and managed victims. The defense claimed she was being scapegoated for Epstein's crimes. After 5 days of deliberation, the jury found her guilty on 5 counts, including sex trafficking of minors. In June 2022, Ghislaine Maxwell was sentenced to 20 years in federal prison. The judge called her conduct heinous and predatory, noting she worked with Epstein to select vulnerable victims. The Maxwell legacy is one of spectacular rise and catastrophic fall. Robert created an illusion of legitimacy while committing massive fraud. Ghislaine maintained a veneer of sophistication while allegedly enabling horrific abuse. Both mastered the art of deception, moving comfortably among the powerful while hiding dark truths. What drives such behavior? Perhaps it's the Maxwell family dynamic itself. Robert was notoriously controlling, demanding perfection from his children while showing little affection. Ghislaine, desperate for his approval, learned early that image management and proximity to power were paramount. The other Maxwell children faced their own struggles. Sons Ian and Kevin were acquitted of fraud charges related to their father's businesses but never escaped his shadow. Several siblings defended their father despite overwhelming evidence of his crimes. Loyalty programmed from childhood. The House of Maxwell represents how wealth and connections can shield wrongdoing for decades. It shows how trauma and dysfunction pass through generations. Most disturbingly, it reveals how the powerful protect their own, even when victims cry out for justice. Today, Robert Maxwell lies buried in Jerusalem, his gravestone declaring him a Holocaust survivor who never forgot. Ghislaine sits in prison, still maintaining her innocence. The victims, both financial and physical, continue seeking closure that may never fully come. The Maxwell story isn't just about one corrupt businessman or one convicted trafficker. It's about systems that enable abuse, media that can be manipulated, and justice that arrives too late for many victims. From refugee to tycoon to disgrace, From socialite to prisoner, the House of Maxwell built its foundation on lies, manipulation, and the exploitation of others. Its collapse was inevitable, not just because of crimes committed, but because empires built on deception cannot stand forever. Share your thoughts below.